Namaste everyone. My name is Pranjal Joshi and welcome all of you to this amazing session with Dayanidhi Das ji. He's a very special person. He's from Italy but he's living in Greece currently. He's a monk who has dedicated around 50 years of his life to Krishna consciousness. He has built temples, he gives lectures on the Vedic scriptures, he shares ancient wisdom with people, and he's a big expert of his subject. So we have someone very special with us, and this will be a conversation between two of us. So thank you very much for joining us, Dayanidhi ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So please tell us something about yourself.
So, my name is Dayanidhi Das. I've been initiated by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. I met him 73 in Italy, and I've been initiated by him a little later. So I was a Franciscan monk. I was living in a monastery for some time because I had the fortune that my mother, she always teach me about God. She always taught me that the real goal of life is to know God. So I was looking for God. So I was a Franciscan monk, but I was not satisfied with the knowledge, with the answer that I got from Christian world, from Christian monks, Christian priests. So I was looking, and my idea was that because sun is coming from east, I understood that knowledge, or the ultimate knowledge, the original knowledge, was coming from my east, from India. So I was looking from some wisdom from India. So I met some articles written by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and I was really attracted. Finally, I got the answer that I was looking for a long time. So I was looking for Krishna's devotees in Italy, but I could not find them. There were no temples in Italy. And I was praying, God, let me meet these people, these monks. I had the perception that these devotees, they give their life, they dedicate their life to God, to Krishna, to know God, to serve God. So I was very much attracted to them. Finally, I found them. They just arrived in Italy by the end of 73, and I met them. I joined immediately the monastery in Rome, and few months after, Srila Prabhupada, he arrived in Rome. So this meeting was what changed my life completely. So now I am a devotee of Krishna since 73, and but I don't feel that I give up Christianity. I don't feel that I give up Jesus, not the Bible, not the gospel of Jesus. Now I really feel that I'm following what Jesus wanted, what Jesus ordered. I feel that I'm a Krishna Bhakta, I'm Krishna's devotees, but also I follow Jesus, I follow his teaching. So I become vegetarian immediately since 73, and I'm following very happily the principle of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is becoming the book of my life. So I am very thankful that you invite me today to speak about Bhagavad Gita and to speak about my spiritual master. Tomorrow is a very important occasion. It's the anniversary of the disappearance from this material, this mortal world of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So I dedicate my speaking to him as an offer of devotion, gratitude to my spiritual master. Thank you very much for inviting me. Hare Krishna.
Well, it's our pleasure. It's our We are honored to have you on our show. It's so amazing. And what a realized soul you are. So it was way back in 1973 that you came in touch with His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, for the first time. Do you remember about the first meeting with him? Any memories you would like to share?
Of course, of course, I remember exactly like was yesterday. This is the most important meeting, the most important thing happened in my life. I never saw a deep love, a deep relationship as I saw when I saw Srila Prabhupada with his devotees. I remember he arrived in the morning very early. He was coming, he was coming from Bombay, 10 hours flying. He arrived at 5 o'clock in Rome. 6 o'clock he was in the temple. And I saw everybody already since 1 month before. Everybody was so excited, so enthusiastic to meet His divine grace, to see His divine grace face to face. So we were so enthusiastic, so happy. Something very special that happened that when he arrived by the car from the airport, all the devotees, 6 o'clock in the morning, all the devotees outside in a square waiting for him outside the temple. And everybody, every single devotee was crying of joy. I never saw something before in my life, such deep love for a person, for such, Hare Krishna. It's even difficult for me to speak about this. This is a question that I was not expecting to answer. The first meeting with His Divine Grace. I was very young. I was 18 years old only, but I was looking for the truth. I was deeply looking for the truth. At this meeting, it changed completely my life, my way of thinking, my way of eating, my way of speaking. It changed completely my life. So after this meeting, I was brahmachari for 10 years. I was non-married for 10 years. Then, because I had many responsibility, because I had many things to do in Italy, I was responsible for different places all over Italy because we opened different temples. After Rome, we opened the temple of Milan. After we opened a temple in Florence, different places. We opened a temple in Venice, near Venice, and many places. So I had many responsibility. So the devotees, they asked me to get married. So I was married with the Krishna devotee, Mataji. I was married for 24 years, marriage. After that, we decided together, like 8 years ago, we decided together. I have three boys. I have two boys, one daughter. They're all devotees of Krishna. And I agree with my family that I will dedicate my life completely to the preaching mission of His Divine Grace, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that I renounced to family life, and now I'm traveling, preaching in different places, and try to implement Krishna consciousness, because this is the real goal of life. Hare Krishna.
What an amazing experience it must have been to meet His Divine Grace for the first time. So, do you also remember when was it that you read the Bhagavad Gita for the first time, and what kind of feeling did you get, and how is it that a great book transformed your life completely forever?
Bhagavad Gita is every day is the deepest experience. Reading Bhagavad Gita every day, even nowadays, when, every day I speak about Bhagavad Gita, I read Bhagavad Gita. This is a very, very important influence, very deep understanding experience, that I have every day. The first time I read Bhagavad Gita was not Bhagavad Gita from His Divine Grace. Bhagavad Gita as it is was another Bhagavad Gita. I was very attracted. I was very attracted, but not really understanding the meaning, the importance of this book. After some time, because I could not read English at that time, I was not an English speaking person. I understood little bit English, not very much. So I learned English studying Bhagavad Gita because I decided not to read any more Italian books. I only read English books from His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the Krishna book, and Bhagavad Gita as it is. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is the main book that I read every day, even today. So it giving me the understanding of reality. This is what really impressed me. Bhagavad Gita is not a book. It's not only a book of philosophy or religion or some esoteric understanding. Bhagavad Gita is the reality. I read Bhagavad Gita, I look around what I read from Bhagavad Gita, and I see this true day by day in matter, in people, in activities in my life. Bhagavad Gita is a life book, is a person book. It's not only a mere, pages with some words. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself. I feel that Bhagavad Gita is opened my eyes and it's becoming my life means that I see the words of Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom from Bhagavad Gita every second. Every second, looking at other people, in what happened in my life, in material things, spiritual things. Bhagavad Gita is everywhere. These words are is becoming life, alive. I don't see. I see these books. I have many books. I have like 600 books from Srila Prabhupada, all about Vedic knowledge. These books are not books. These books are person. These books are the words of Krishna, the words of God, but they are alive. These books are not. I deal with the books like I deal with persons. I offer prashadam. I clean. I put to sleep. Like persons. They are not pages. I see other books that are dead books. These books are personalities. These books are alive. These people inside the books, they speak to me. So it's like to be in touch with Krishna directly. This is all through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I could not get through before. It was not possible for me. This is only the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So I live for him, I serve him, and this is my life.
Amazing, amazing.
Hare Krishna.
Right. In we have heard this a lot. Karm kiye ja, phal ki chinta mat kar. So keep on working. Do not worry about the consequence of the result of that action. So this is one thing which is written in the Bhagavad Gita about karmas, karma, sakarm, akarm. So what exactly is karma and what are the different categories of karma?
When you had when your activities are dedicated to yourself, to ourselves, then we are always afraid of results. We try to do the best activities to get the best results because we depend on the results. We are influenced by the results. If the results are bad, we will suffer. We will suffer reactions. We will suffer many bad consequences because we are depending from our activities. But when your activities are done for God, for the pleasure of God, then you don't depend from the results. The activity in itself already is successful. You already reached the goal. When you cook for example, when you cook for God, when you speak about God, you don't depend from the results. You don't depend if people will clap your hands, if people they smile, they will be happy. You just speak because you want to satisfy God, because you want to please God. You want to do something for God. So the results it's already there. The results is already good. So the activities they are not dependent from the result. They are akarma, means not dependent from the results. The activity itself it's already pure. Activity in the material platform, you work because you want a salary. If you don't get the salary, you become very angry. Your work becomes useless. But this is material activities. This is temporary activities, superficial activities. When you do something for God, when you please God, when you act for Him, you don't depend from the results. You are not looking for results. You are not waiting for the results. Salary or not salary, no problem. The salary is already included. It's already included in the action. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, perfect renunciation, means that you act out of devotion for Krishna. This is the perfection. We don't need to die to go back to Krishna. Already our life is with Krishna. Already our activities, our thoughts, our words, they're already with Krishna. Iya yasare dasye karmana manasagira nikilasvapi avastasu jiva mukta sauchate. Even though you are still in a material body, you are jiva mukta already. You don't need to wait to die to come back to God. We are already with Krishna. We are satisfied whatever we do for him. The results is already included in the activities, not depending from the results of the activities. Bad or good, no matter. Siddhyo siddhyo samobhutva. Samatvam yoga uchade. This is yoga. Many
Right.
people speak about yoga, but this is real yoga. Union. Yoga or religion is the same thing. You say Christian religion, you say yoga, exactly the same. To get reunited with God. When you act for him, you are already with him. We don't need to die to come back to God. Hare Krishna.
Amazing. The way you explained the philosophy of karma and yoga, it's so fascinating, and how you are serving a great mission. But not everybody can do that, right? Not everybody can be a monk. There are students going to school and colleges. There are salaried professionals, working professionals. There are housewives. There are people who are retired. There are people from all different walks of life. So how can, and everybody has limitations and boundaries. So within that specified framework, how can someone follow the Bhagavad Gita, not being a monk exactly, to the limited extent they can follow the teachings?
Many times our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, said, Arjuna was not a pandit. Arjuna was not a sannyasi. Arjuna was a grihastha. He had family. He was a warrior. So Krishna never said to Arjuna, you give up your work. Give up your family, give up your wife, give up your job. Never say like this. This is not the goal. This is because I'm 66 years old. In a few days, I'm growing old. But I had family, I was working. I was working as a devotee of Krishna. I was working for 15 years, 15 years in a medical laboratory in Italy. Very big medical laboratory. I was working there with many doctors for 15 years, from 2000 to 2015, because I had a family. I have two boys, one daughter. They were studying. I had to, buy a house for them. I was working, but I never forgot Krishna. I went always with my sika, not the tilak because it was a little too much for them. But at sika, I was dressed in a normal dress, of course, but I was a devotee. I always been a devotee. I always talked to them about Krishna. I did my service working. I was very pleased. I can tell you, I was very pleased. I never felt bad. Yeah, I used to I used to go to work all week. On Sunday, I go to the temple. They invite me to speak on Bhagavad Gita to the guest. I say many times to the guest, I am one of you. I work in all week. Every day I go to the laboratory. I work there. And I'm very pleased to work, even though when I was in my family life, I was very happy. So you can work, you can be a normal person in the society, you can have family, you can have children, you can have a wife, no problem. Yoga means that in your activities, you include Krishna, include God. You dedicate your life, your activities to God. You think about him, you worship him, you don't forget him. This is not a problem. Then if you want, when the end of life is approaching, you can give up family if you want, if your wife agree, if everything is okay, and then you can become a monk. You can dedicate your life for spreading Krishna consciousness. There is a very much big wanted of Krishna consciousness in this world. This is what is missing today. Why this coronavirus? Why these problems? Why so many so much anxiety, so many problems, because there is a lack of Krishna consciousness. There is a wanted of Krishna consciousness in this world. But you do your work peacefully, no problem. You can be a perfect Krishna Bhakta in your work, in your job, in your family, with your children, with your wife. Wherever you are, you preach Krishna consciousness. Yare Deka Tareka, Krishna Upadesh. Amara Gyaya Guru and Anyatara Aidesh. You are there, your dash, your place, your house, your wife. You talk to them about Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita daily, and you go to your work and maintain your family. This is very honest life. This is not Vaishnava doesn't mean that you become, a person that give up your duties. This is not Krishna consciousness philosophy. It's better to do our duties than to do the duty of somebody else. Hare Krishna.
That's amazing to know. No matter who we are, we may be Indian or foreigner or student or married or single, we can follow the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita in our day-to-day lives, even if we are not a monk, but we can still follow the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. That's really
Yeah,
great.
yeah, you can follow the instruction and you can instruct others. You can be a guru, even in your family life. No problem. Yarideka Tareka, Krishna Upadesh. You explain Bhagavad Gita in the place where you are working. Of course, in a intelligent way, not in a fanatical way, in the proper way. It's better to do our duty nicely instead to do the duty of somebody else. Krishna said to Arjuna, don't become a mendicant. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up your duty as a kshatriya. You reach perfection doing your duty as a kshatriya. Hare
Great.
Krishna.
So you mentioned that wisdom comes from the east, just like sun rises from the east. We're talking about ancient wisdom. So how do you look at India? What is your view about India? Looking at the
I am in love with India. I am in love with India, and I feel separation from Vrindavan, from Mayapur, from the holy places. I love Indians people. I love India very much, very much. I understood from the beginning that Sanskrit, that the Vedas, this is the old knowledge. God it bless India. When I see the the map of the world, when I see India, it's like a heart. This is the heart of the world, the planet. India is the heart of the planet. So the heart is very important. If the hands not working, not the problem. If the legs not working, not the problem. But if the heart is not working, the person is going to die. India is the heart of the planet. This is this is the feeling that I had from the beginning. And when I read Bhagavad Gita, this convinced me very much. I go almost every year in pilgrimage in India, in the holy places, very much.
like Vrindavan.
Especially, yes, especially Vrindavana, Mayapur, especially Vrindavan. My heart, my heart is lost in Vrindavan.
Oh, that's a great place to lose your heart. What a amazing way to look at India. And the way you look at India is so fascinating. So, there is any message you would like to give to our audience? Any final message?
Final message, because the audio is not very good. I don't hear very well. Final message that I can give. First of all, I thank you very much that you're giving me this opportunity to speak about Bhagavad Gita, to speak about Srila Prabhupada. My final message will be that it's the goal of life is to serve Krishna, to serve God. Maybe not everybody understand who is Krishna. Maybe nobody can understand Bhagavad Gita completely or the Vedic knowledge, But you pray God. You pray sincerely God, whatever religion you belong to, whatever service you do in the society, whatever is your position, you stay in your position, try to pray God, to respect others very much, and step by step you will understand that the goal of life is to become a Krishna's bhakta, to become a Krishna servant. It takes time, but don't worry. Krishna loves us. Krishna loves us much more than how much we love him. Krishna loves us. It's only a question of time. Then we will understand, who is Krishna. We will understand the real goal of life. Please follow your religion, follow do your duty, whatever duty you find yourself, and Krishna will help you very much. Don't forget God. Don't forget Krishna.
Right. So this was our session with His Grace Dayanidhi Das ji. And to sum it up, we can say we may be householders, we may be single, student, housewife, retired, working professionals. We do not need to give up our duties. We can still follow the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. The final message he gave is that be a servant of Krishna, think of it. He also clarified the commonly held perception of the word karma or karma. He also clarified what does yoga actually means. And his uh, views on India are also amazing. So the way he narrated the message of the Bhagavad Gita to us, the way he uh, shared his own life's journey with us, the important points he gave to us are surely enlightening. Was an amazing experience for all of us, enlightening experience, because the scriptures give us a lot of wisdom. And he is someone who has dedicated nearly 50 years of his life living the message of the great scriptures. I am really honored. We are honored to have you on our show. Thank you very much. And this is the auspicious month of Kartik or Damodar. So this conversation is even more significant. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Please, let's thank all together His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, because all the merits comes from him. All our feeling goes towards him. If it was not him, I could not be here today. So please, let's try to remember all together His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, the Paramahamsa Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Such high personality, this planet is very fortunate that his lotus feet was traveling all over this planet for 14 times in 11 years. He wrote 80 books, the deepest knowledge. He was using the night to write books to explain to us Krishna consciousness. So he is the highest authority in Vedic knowledge. So only because of him I am here today. I have no merits. I have not. You should not thank me. We should all thanks together His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada.
Great.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much.